Just like with R. Kelly, just like with Bill Cosby, the singer David, his arrest was total BS. David is just another example of an innocent black man being persecuted. The same thing happened with other talented singers like Michael Jackson or O.J. Simpson. These were people who basically did nothing wrong, but still got dragged into court and arrested because we live in America, and in America, black people are statistically, they get hired less because they're black. There's also a lot of racism going on, and David was just another innocent person of the black persecution that's currently going on in America. This is why we have Black Lives Matter, and progressive people on YouTube like Anthony Gramugula who go around trying to help black people out. As a black man myself, I personally think that David should be set free, but that won't happen because he's a rich, well off, successful black man. And the American government or the American people, the bigots who are in charge, they just don't like that at all. And, what he did with Celeste, okay, that was a little sus. But to be fair here, I mean, David was just basically doing what many Muslims do in their countries as well. But overall, we don't really know about what David and Celeste's relationship was about. Heck, for all we know, David didn't even unalive Celeste. For all we know, Celeste, it could have just been an accident. And about, finding her body in David's car, for all we know, the FBI could have easily just put her body in David's car in order to frame David. Because, again, America has something against black people. Like, the ideal of a successful black man. It just scares people for some reason. And I just don't get it, because it's just not fair. David shouldn't be placed in prison. Thousands of years ago, before the white man came along and ruined Africa, my people were the original kings. Now, if you don't know anything about kings, you should know for a fact that being part of kings was actually pretty cool. I mean, we had like a lot of gold, a lot of art. The African continent used to be the most financially well-off continent in history. But then, European colonization came along and ruined everything. The white man stole everything, and that's why we can't have any famous black people nowadays, because the white man wants to bring us down, and it's just totally unfair. Plus, David's a good, talented singer. He would have no logical reason whatsoever to just unalive an underage girl. Like, come on now. David being in a relationship with an underage girl? Like, no way. There's no proof to that at all. In fact, I'm pretty sure, David right now is going to 100% win his case, because Michael Jackson did the same thing. He got accused of some shady stuff, and then Michael Jackson was like, no, I didn't do it. And he got out of court and won or something like that. So overall, just like Michael Jackson, David was basically just oppressed. He was an oppressed, rich, well-off black man that the white people basically just want to shut down for no logical reason whatsoever. It's like anytime a black man starts to make progress, the white man basically has to go and bring them down. I learned this from my favorite YouTuber, Antonio Talks. Antonio Talks, if you don't know, is a genius. This man talks about all the horrible things that happen to black people. And one of my favorite games ever is actually the Spider-Man Miles Morales. I especially like the part where there's a Black Lives Matter memorial. And hold on, I just want to hump this pipe real quick. But yeah, David should be completely set free. If you want to bring him to court, fine. But there's no evidence that he actually, did anything bad to Celeste. He was just a talented singer who didn't know any better. And to be honest, David is just oppressed, Because the thing about Celeste, she was just a huge fan of David. And there's nothing wrong with, David having a fan like Celeste. I mean, David was basically the OG Discord mod. I mean, People on Discord are allowed to have those types of relationships with people who are like super young. So why can't David, the talented singer, and all of David's music is just spectacular. You know, if David does go to prison because he's just another innocent black man who was accused of a fake crime, then, you know, at least David will be able to sing to all the prisoners with his beautiful sounding voice. I love David music. I listen to it almost every day, you know?
Whatever supplies you need, just let us know, boss.
Why is there a woman here?